Your future just went black, farm boy. Marcus's voice cut through the hall like a knife. Linley stumbled back from the oracular sphere. The crystal sat there, dead black, completely dark. Holy crap, he actually killed it, a girl screamed. The sphere's never done that before, another kid whispered. What did you do? Marcus circled him like a predator. You're so powerless the crystal literally gave up and died. The laughter grew louder, more vicious. Dozens of young nobles pressed closer, their faces twisted with malicious joy. Linley the life drainer. He's so magically hopeless he makes crystals suicidal. The bald elder stood frozen, staring at the blackened sphere with a mixture of disgust and bewilderment. In 40 years of testing, he said slowly, I have never seen a crystal react like this. Go back to your dirt farm before you traumatize anything else, Marcus shouted, and the hall erupted in fresh peals of laughter. Linley stood there trembling as his dreams crumbled around him. The black sphere seemed to pulse with its own misery, a perfect reflection of his shattered hopes. Linley stumbled outside, his legs barely holding him up. The laughter still rang in his ears like a death sentence. His trembling fingers found the black dragon ring on his hand. His great-grandfather's legacy. The ancient metal felt cold against his skin. It can't be, he whispered to himself, voice cracking. Father said our family carries the bloodline of the dragon blood mages. He slumped against a stone pillar, staring at the ring that had given him so much hope. How could he face his father now? How could he tell him that their proud bloodline meant nothing? That he was just another nobody? Two students walked past, their voices drifting over. What a pity, the first one said, shaking his head. Even a dragon blood descendant like Linley failed. Linley's heart stopped. They knew about his bloodline? The second student shrugged. Well, I've heard that over generations the bloodline gets diluted. Only rare descendants with high concentration of dragon blood awaken the mage potential. So basically, he's just another wannabe? Pretty much. His family's been bragging about that bloodline for years. But look how that turned out. They laughed as they walked away. Linley felt his world crumble completely. Even his precious bloodline was worthless. Diluted. Weak. He looked down at the black dragon ring again, its intricate carvings mocking him now. Great-grandfather, he whispered, his voice barely audible. I failed you. I failed everyone. The ring sat silent on his finger. Just cold metal now. No magic, no power, no hope. Everything his father had told him about their family's greatness was just empty words. Stories to make a nobody feel special. But he wasn't special. He was nothing. The afternoon sun cast harsh shadows across his face as tears started to fall. The golden light that had seemed so promising this morning now felt like it was laughing at him too. Then it hit him. That smell. Smoke and ash. His nose twitched, and suddenly he wasn't walking home anymore. The world around him shifted. The peaceful evening dissolved into chaos. The memory of that painful day crashed back like a hurricane. Linley. Luke's fingers bit into his best friend's arm, yanking him backward. Move! Now! Linley stood frozen, watching the swift lizard's massive form tower above the battlefield. Its scales gleamed like black steel in the firelight. The beast's rider, a figure wrapped in dark robes, raised his staff. Blazing Viper Waltz! The mage's voice boomed across the chaos. 7 blazing serpents streaked down from the sky like falling stars. He's a high-level magus! Everyone take cover! Run! A soldier's panicked yell pierced the air. But Linley couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. The display of raw power held him frozen, and his eyes gleamed red, just for a second. Luke shoved him hard. What's wrong with you? We gotta go! The lizard's tail whipped faster than lightning, wrapping around Luke. No! Linley's scream came too late. The swift lizard jerked. Luke flew through the air, those jaws snapped shut. Bone crunched, blood sprayed. Luke was gone. The commander's hand clamped over Linley's eyes. Fall back, now! But Linley saw everything. The fire serpents carving through the air, the mage floating above it all. Untouchable. So this is power, Linley whispered, transfixed. Even as grief tore through him, even as his best friend's blood still hung in the air, he couldn't look away. Linley blinked. He was back on the cobblestone path, hands shaking. Luke's face flashed in his mind. The only one who'd believed in him. But Luke had been killed, trying to protect Linley from the massive lizard. Luke's encouraging words echoed like a curse. You'll be a great mage someday. I see the spark in your eyes, red like dragons. Linley's knuckles went white around the ring. The oath burned in his memory. I swear I'll avenge you, Luke. I'll become the most powerful mage, strong enough to protect everyone. But today, that oath felt like a joke. Linley slammed through the back door. His room felt smaller, like it couldn't hold what was building inside him. The ring sat on his finger. Dead weight. Father said you belonged to my great-grandfather. Linley stared at it. The most powerful mage of his time. Nothing. He said I had magical potential. That's why I found you. Silence. But today was a disaster. He squeezed his fist. Was it all BS? How do I face him now? The ring stayed cold. Outside, raised voices. Angry. Linley's blood went ice cold. Please. His father's voice shook. Just give me more time. My son's joining the Mage Academy any day. He'll make a fortune. Two massive thugs loomed over his father. The bigger one cracked his knuckles. Time's up, old man. Where's our money? I swear, when Linley becomes a mage, you'll get double. Yeah? When's that happening? The second one laughed. Face it, your kid's a dud. His father looked small, pressed into his chair. No, you don't get it. He's got real talent. The ring chose him. Fairy tales don't pay debts. The first collector grabbed a family photo. Maybe we should take this place instead. Linley's bedroom door creaked open. Linley stood there, pale as a ghost. Linley. His father's eyes lit up. Tell them about your academy results. The collector sized up the scrawny kid. Well? The bigger one crossed his arms. You gonna make us rich? Linley's throat went dry. The rejection letter burned in his pocket. His father's hopeful smile was killing him. Give me a second. He bolted for his room. Linley slammed the door, gasping. You made me believe I was special. He screamed at the ring, tears streaming. Dad spent everything on my training. For what? He held it to the candlelight. Zero magic. Nothing. You're useless. His voice cracked. Maybe I should sell you to those thugs. At least you'd be worth something. Voices outside grew louder, more threatening. I can't face him, he whispered. I can't tell Dad I failed. Pure rage exploded through him. Damn it all! He slammed his fist on the desk. Crack! Wood splintered. Blood welled up from his knuckle. A single drop touched the ring. The metal absorbed it instantly. Then the ring began to glow. What the hell? Brilliant golden light erupted, blinding him. The room hummed with otherworldly power that made his bones vibrate. The light swirled, condensed, took shape. An old man stood before him. Great-grandpa? The man looked exactly like their family portrait, but alive. Ancient eyes held depths of power that made his skin tingle. Hello, Linley. Dennis's voice carried unmistakable authority. Been waiting a long time to meet you, but you're dead. You disappeared. Dennis shook his head in disbelief. Dead? Nah, trapped's more accurate. Dennis gestured to the ring. That's the dragon ring, a divine artifact. When my enemies cornered me, I sealed my soul inside. Linley's head spun. This is insane. The Dragonblood Empire, you heard of it? Dennis continued. Dad mentioned it. Ruled for 3,000 years before it fell. Our family were its greatest mages. Dennis's eyes hardened. Until politics destroyed everything. The ring stayed hidden till it found its rightful heir. You. When your blood touched it today, it released me. You've got magic in your blood, kid, Dennis emphasized. But I failed the test. The crystal turned black, cried Linley. Dennis snorted. Academy tests? They exist to keep magic in elite hands. They don't want real talent. They want controllable talent. Hope flickered in Linley's chest. But what if I really don't have power? Only one way to find out. Dennis stepped closer. I can teach you real magic. But first, we need to see what's inside you. Outside, something crashed. The debt collectors were getting impatient. Sit down. Cross your legs, Dennis commanded. Close your eyes and look inside yourself. Feel for your elemental core. What if there's nothing? Linley hesitated. Then we'll know. But if there is... Dennis's eyes gleamed. Well, let's just say those academy fools have no idea what they just passed up. Linley sat on his bed, heart hammering. Breathe deep. Feel the energy, Dennis instructed. It's always been there. You just need to find it. Linley closed his eyes, shutting out his father's pleading voice. Time was running out. Focus, Dennis said quietly. What do you feel? At first, nothing, just his pulse and breath. Then, something. Warmth in his chest like a tiny flame. It grew stronger, spreading like molten gold. I feel something, Linley whispered. Good. What color? The warmth intensified. Suddenly he could see it. Swirling energies dancing behind his eyelids, red like fire, blue like water, brown like earth, green like wind. And something else, something darker, Something that made his skin crawl with raw power. Colors. Lots of them. Dennis went rigid. How many? 4. Maybe. 5. Linley's eyes snapped open. Is that bad? Dennis stared, face bone white. Linley. His voice shook. In 3,000 years of the Dragonblood Empire, only one person ever had 5 elemental affinities. Who? The Dragon Emperor himself. Silence. Except for distant shouting from the living room. But here's the kicker. Dennis's voice dropped to a whisper. That 5th element. What was it? Linley's mind flashed to that shadow. Cold, hungry, impossibly powerful. It wasn't just darkness. Linley's voice was barely audible. It ate the light. Linley! Dennis gasped, his voice breaking. The crystal at the academy. It went black when you touched it. This isn't coincidence. His eyes widened in realization. Oh, my dear boy, I never thought you'd be a... He stopped, unable to finish the sentence. Be a what? Linley demanded. From outside, a voice boomed. Time's up, little boy. The bedroom door exploded inward. What will happen when the thugs kick in the door? What did Linley's great-grandpa see in him that left even a dragon mage trembling? Can Linley rise to be the next Dragon Emperor, or will his enemies crush him? Find out by downloading the Pocket FM app and listening to Heir of the Dragon and other shows completely free.